Today's TikTok is a funny one. I love the weird ones. I don't know. They sometimes do well. They sometimes don't. People generally like my superheroes and those types of characters a little bit better. Although I do have a couple of really, really good performing weird ones. And this is a weird one. And I'm going to add a couple of new effects that I haven't used before. You know, typically I do, I just become it. I stamp it using my household items and then I transition into it. This time I'm actually going to be creating my face as a cereal. So I'm going to stamp the box. I'm going to pose on it. I'm going to draw the box. I'm going to create my own cereal. Then I'm going to pour that cereal onto this plate, onto this dish, and then I'm going to spoon it. So there's going to be a little bit more special effects in this one. It's going to be a little different than what I normally do. I'm going to be dressing up a little bit. Normally I'm in the green suit. This time I'm going to be wearing a cardigan. I don't have exactly the brown sweater that's required, the V-neck one, but I do have a white shirt. I do have a tie that's kind of black. I don't have a straight black tie, but I have one that's sort of like a checkered. So I'm going to do the tie and shirt. I'm going to get fancy for this, and we're going to do some weird edits. So let's get it. Okay, so this is my cardigan here. Like, as you can see, it's not quite right, but at least the color is sort of there. Like, I don't really have sweaters like that. Like, I have like a couple of crew necks that are black. I got this waffly one, but I think this is the closest one that I have. So we're gonna go with this. And then it's gonna get dark here. Sorry for that. There's no other lights in my place. It's like, so there's the bathroom light there. I guess that helps. So we're going to, I need a white dress shirt. Oh, which I think is actually on the ground because it's dirty and it needs to be, like it needs to be taken to the dry cleaners. So it's just on the ground. Oh well. And then my tie. I'll find the tie. This is so frustrating. I have a tie and it's just gone. It's just nowhere. And I need a tie for this. I'm gonna have to message somebody who lives in the building, in my apartment building here. Maybe someone I know has a tie and I can go pick one up. It's kind of needed for this outfit, I feel like. All right, so I'm gonna need some cereal. Oh, I know where I have cereal. Sorry, my kitchen's not very clean because I just cooked dinner. Boom. And that's not clean because maybe I'm just not that clean, okay? Get off my back. Okay, actually, the box is too wide. It's gonna be hard to pour. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with a different one. Oh, by the way, my heroes and villains stuff came. Thank you to those guys. They hit me up on Instagram and wanted to send me a few things. So there's a hoodie there. There's a bomber jacket. Pretty awesome stuff. It's all like Star Wars and Star Trek and vintage, and they have some dope stuff. This is not an advertisement, by the way, but check out Heroes and Villains. It's a cool site. All right, so we're gonna go with this cereal box, and this is gonna be my head right here. Okay, so we got a plate. I need a spoon. Hey.
Hello.
What's up, homie?
Not much. Just made a wrap and gonna put a movie on.
Nice.
Oh, hey. As I'm like,
Why did you cut that?
as you got that, cool.
And lastly, necktie. All right, so off to some editing here. So I'm starting off with the face part, right? So I needed that for the cereal and I needed it for the cereal box. So this is the first maybe just grabbing a mask tool here and I'm just cutting around my head. Now that that's done, I need to track this. So that's why I taped a little X on the cereal box because I wanted to be able to track it easier. So what I did there was I was using an auto tracking piece of software and I was just following along and getting it to be on the X. So I was basically just putting in the data that was going to be the tracking. And then I came back out and now I'm attaching the photo that's going to be attached to the tracking data. So right now I was just trying to line it up because I kind of cut it there and sort of made a small error. But so I'm just kind of going back and forth, trying to get it all to line up, which ended up taking a really long time. It was kind of ridiculous because of the splice in there. It's kind of hard to explain, so I'm not going to break it all down. I bore the heck out of you. But what it comes down to was lining it up was really tough. So I did that for the next, I don't know, 20 minutes. And then I was heading on to the next part. And I wanted to add some motion blur to the face because when things move in real life, they're not crispy like this image looks. You can see that the box, as it moves back and forth, is actually blurry. And so that's something that you have to create digitally, at least if you want it to look realistic. Like, it doesn't really matter, but I don't know. A big thing that I do in my content is I sort of go for cheesy clip art, but I also go for like an element of realism. So I don't know. It's my style, I guess. So the next part was getting all the cereal together, all the heads in the bowl. So I had to just basically just keep replicating the head and then just twisting and turning them into position, trying to make sure that the ones in the back are actually behind the ones in the front. So just a little bit of layering, and this was definitely tedious. Like, this took me, I think it was about a half hour on this piece too. Now I noticed that the plate was actually not lining up with where the actual cereal was from the image. So I had to move everything into place. So I just grabbed everything and kind of moved it back in line. That was the animation part. So this would be arguably the hardest part of the whole video because I wanted everything to tumble out of the box. So I had to manually, frame by frame, make them twist and turn and sort of fall in a gravitational way to try to fall into the plate. This part just took so long. Like, I don't even think we need to zip through all of this because it's much of the same. So I'll cut out 90% of it. So other than some camera movements and just playing around and tweaking things, that was pretty much a wrap. I was able to, render it out and get it ready to go. So I think the whole thing took about 4 hours total to make. So the next morning I got up around 10 in the morning and it was time to post it. So it had a really bad early push. Like, I was going back and forth and refreshing. We're at 4 minutes here. And going back, I had 2 comments at this point. And just every time I refreshed it, I was getting like 1 or 2 views. And I thought that was really strange. Like, typically my pushes are quite a bit bigger than that. As you go, you kind of get used to, you know what it looks like. You know the early makings of what a good video is going to be versus a bad video. You know if it's going to flop. Usually within that first 10 minutes, for sure within the first hour. So this was a bad sign. Like, it just was not happening for this video. I have had a couple of viral videos start off super slow and then they start getting exponential. But that definitely was not happening with this one. Like, I would refresh and it would be no views at times. And I thought it was really, really fishy. So I just continued to do that back and forth. I then logged out and did a few other things and came back. It was 18 minutes now into the video being posted. And it's still just, it's struggling. And I was like, yeah, something's up with this video. At this point, I'm kind of like, I know it's not gonna go. And I'm kind of trying to figure out why. This is the point in the process where I'm just like, what did I screw up, right? What did I miss? Why isn't it as good as I think it is? Where did I lose people? And I started to get kind of in like a cycle. And I went and checked back. I think this is about an hour later, maybe, after I posted, and we're up at about 1,200. And same thing, it's trickling out like one view at a time. Like, by now, it should be far enough into the push that I'm getting chunks, right? Like 20, 30 views type of thing every refresh. So the fact that I'm getting like one or two, I'm like, I'm in trouble. So turns out, friend of mine texts me from San Diego and says that it's a yellow dot video, and then shows me that she can't share it in the States. So that's what's going on. My video is not being shown in the States. The only reason she saw it is because she went to my page. You can always go and view a video if you go there manually, even if it's a yellow dot video, but yeah, it's not going to be on anyone's For You page. It's not going to be getting pushed to anybody. If you're not aware of what a yellow dot is or how it works, essentially music is licensed to different countries on an individual basis. And so, TikTok tells us to use the audio library, but they leave out the part that even if you do that because you think it's best practices and you don't want them to throttle back your views and you want to be in good standing, it might still just get shown nowhere in the world. Except for your home country, which for me is Canada. It would be so awesome if the audio library maybe just told you where that song was licensed to. I think it'd be a pretty easy change. I guess at this point it might not be, because they'd probably have to go in and do it manually. So maybe it would be a lot of work, but just as a content creator, again, if you're gonna force me to do things a specific way to stay within your rules and guidelines, the tools that you provide me with, they should work. I shouldn't still be getting punished for doing things the right way. Otherwise, I might as well just be uploading every song that I feel like as my own audio and just seeing what happens, right? Maybe they tag it, maybe they don't, maybe they know what song it is, maybe it isn't, maybe I get away with it. Like it's like they'd rather I steal music. They'd rather me just like pirate things and hope for the best, because their audio library is supposed to protect me from stuff like this. So I think I'm going to repost tomorrow. I'm going to do a new edit to it. I have the raw footage, obviously, and I'm going to get rid of, so I always edit my videos to match like the vibe of the song, right? So I have the cuts happen at beat drops, slowdowns, speed ups, it all happens, to match the sound, to create sort of like an energy and a mood. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change all that. I'm gonna take the rough cut over again, change it all, put it to a new track that's available in the States, and repost it tomorrow. So here is what the views look like on this video now. So 11,000 after, like I posted this at 10 a.m. So that's 9.5 hours later, 11,000. All right, so it's night 2 and I'm editing. It's 11:35 p.m. So it's another, I guess, 26 hours after I posted the new video with a twist, and I think it was a little bit too different from what I normally make. So I went and I remade that video, and I made it with a unique twist, and I kind of made it like sort of a sad story on like how sometimes I feel kind of lonely in this role, just because I feel like there's something that's about being a social media person that just makes you so antisocial, it's kind of hard to explain. Yeah, so I ended up making the video about that, about those emotions, and it's kind of off-brand for my content. So It is doing exactly the same as the last version, but that's probably explains it. I hampered my own views on that one probably because people generally won't care about like a personal video like that. Like they don't want to hear you complain, right? So those ones typically don't do as well. We're at 15,000 on the new one, 24, I believe it was, on the old one, which I didn't delete. I'm just leaving them up, and it is what it is. Tomorrow I'm posting. If you want to check out actually that video that I'm talking about, obviously my TikTok's down below. Yeah, I can't post it here obviously because of music issues, music restrictions, or else I'd just put it here. And the music is a big part. It's a big part of it. Yeah. So yeah, I already made tomorrow's TikTok that I'm publishing, and it's Paul Walker. So many people have requested Paul Walker. People love my tribute videos. My Kobe Bryant one did really, really well. I've done Pop Smoke. I've done XXXTentacion. Oh man, his name's hard to say. So I've done a few of them, and they're always cool. They always pop off, and yeah, a lot of people requested Paul Walker, so I did a cool video for that. So check that one out on TikTok and make sure you like and follow. I don't know if you guys like these vlogs or not. You guys got to tell me. I don't know if they're interesting to watch or not. And let me know if it's worth it to you guys that I make them, or what you want to see more or less of in these vlogs. Is there something that I'm not showing you? Is there something else that you'd like to know or understand? Just let me know and I can put them in future vlogs. I'm going to try to do these once a week. Once a week, I'm going to try to do a TikTok vlog where I'm going to go through a day of making a TikTok. So that's it for me. Deuces.